Hi everyone, it's Professor Clark, and in today's lecture we're going to talk about the prepositions is and se or so. And prepositions are always a little bit tricky because they never quite line up with prepositions in other languages, but roughly speaking, these mean from and are used with the genitive and are normally pretty straightforward. So with that comforting thought, let's jump into it. We use the prepositions is and se sometimes to answer the question откуда. Откуда means from where or whence. So in English, we used to distinguish between location, direction towards, and direction from, with where meaning location, and whence meaning from where, and whither meaning to where. We don't really do that anymore. We just have it in occasional archaic phrases like from whence it came, as in The Lord of the Rings. But Russian still makes that distinction, and you have to use the correct form of where when you are indicating location, direction towards, or direction from. And so откуда is direction from where. And it is always answered using the genitive case. So if someone asks you откуда, as in, from where did this come from? You're always going to answer using the genitive case. There are various ways to say from in Russian, but they all take genitive. When we're talking about specific physical locations, we use the prepositions is or se plus the genitive. So if someone asks you откуда, or you're trying to implicitly answer the question откуда, and you're talking about a specific physical location, you're going to use is or se plus the genitive. Let's start by looking at the preposition is. Is, meaning from, is the reverse of v, meaning in or into. So just like you'd use v to indicate going into or being located in an enclosed space, you're going to use is to indicate coming out of an enclosed space. And the thing to keep in mind is that nouns that take v to indicate movement towards or location in will take is to indicate motion from. And I have some examples here. So, откуда ты идешь? Where are you coming from? Я иду из библиотеки. I'm coming from the library. It's a building. It's an enclosed space. So we use v when we talk about motion towards it, and is when we talk about motion from it. Я иду из школы. I'm coming from school. Again, that's considered to be in a building and an enclosed space. Я иду из общежития. I'm coming from the dorm. Once again, that's considered to be a building and an enclosed space. Я иду из университета. I'm coming from college, or I'm coming from the university. University is also considered to be a building and an enclosed space. And я иду из театра. I'm coming from the theater. Once again, theater is considered to be a building and therefore an enclosed space. And there are a couple of special cases or things you want to note. So to leave the house, we use the phrase из дома or из дому. And that makes sense. Dom, house or home, is a building. It's an enclosed space. So we use is. And we can use it in what you might consider to be the normal genitive and say из дома. But also we have this archaic form that is still used sometimes, which is из дому. And both of those mean the same thing. They mean to leave the house. Another thing to keep in mind is that is becomes изо before certain words. The most important is vs. So if you're going to put is before the word vs, meaning all or the whole, it's going to become изо. So изо всех сил means like at full strength or with all your strength, but literally from all strengths. Another common place where this form изо is used is изо рта, out of your mouth. And those are the main ones. Almost all of the time it's going to be is, but every now and then it's going to be изо, as in изо всех сил, and изо рта. Now let's look at the preposition се or со. And se can be a little bit confusing because it can be used with both the genitive and the instrumental, but it has different meanings, completely different meanings, depending on which case it's used with. So se plus genitive indicates motion downwards or from an open space or activity. And just like is the opposite of v, s is the opposite of na. So if you use na to indicate motion towards a place or location at a place, you will use s to indicate motion away from the place. And let's look at some examples. Откуда ты идешь? Where are you coming from? Я иду с Красной площади. I'm coming from Red Square. A city square is an open space, so therefore we use с. Я иду с работы. I'm coming from work. Work is an activity, so we use с. Я иду с занятия. I'm coming from class. Class is an activity, so we use с. Other places where we would use с would be со стола, off of the table. Like if you had papers flying off of the table or something fall off of the table, you would use со стола. С фильма, from the movie, if you were watching the movie, that's an activity. And then we have some more examples here, like со стадиона, from the stadiums. Дискотеки, a discotheque is an activity, so we use на and с. Со стола, once again, со звезд, from the stars. So remember, any sort of open space, activity, or official building. So с почты, from the post office. С вокзала, from the train station, also takes с. And then с becomes со before consonant clusters that begin with с or z. So for example, со стадиона, from the stadium. Со стола, off of the table. Со звезд, from the stars. So there you have your quick overview of is and с. They're really not very complicated. The important thing to remember is that is always matches v and s always matches na. And you just have to remember which nouns take which set of prepositions. So there you go. Enjoy your Russian.